everybody. I didn't press the go live button, so nothing happened at that time. Certainly it's working now, but let me just do something and make extra sure. There we go. Yep, it's working. How's everyone doing today? Going ahead and posting our stream everywhere. Twitter first and then all my random Discord servers that I'm in. Hello everybody, I'm on my own tonight. As you can plainly see, Brandon should be along at some point or another. But Ronnie was, if you guys don't pay attention to his Twitter, don't know, was on a bit of a trek to go and see his family for the holidays, and I'll be joining him tomorrow, but I'm going by plane and he went by car. All that fun stuff. So that leaves us alone for the night. That's not creepy at all. Whatever. Just come on to the whole stream. I marked my stream as not for kids because I don't want to deal with all that mess. That is where I put my stream. I paste. Phew. Yep.
Yo.
Look who came home in time for the stream. Yeah.
It's totally intentional.
Yeah. Totally, because everyone else left me alone.
Ronnie still hasn't.
He made it. Well, he's not exactly at his family's house. They went off with their caroling group, and they're at someone else's house, so he's gonna meet them there.
Oh, man. I haven't done that in years.
I didn't think people still did it.
I don't know if they still do it. I did it when I was a kid. Speaking of woman, I see that my stocking is full. It's rude.
It's full of candy. I was gonna do it tomorrow morning and surprise you more, but yeah, I'll do it tonight. You guys
I'm going to be even lazier about it and fill it up on Christmas Eve when you're not here and then be like, yeah.
I'm like rude. I'm like, I guess. Also,
I'll be waiting for
I picked up the mail, and there's another thingy for you from Bronny, so I just put it under the tree.
Bitch.
I like it. What's the stream
it's like
saying? I'm here. Apparently I'm early. Hi. Hey, Heather. My family got a burb. Oh, that's nice.
A burb.
A burb.
Am I allowed to open it?
If you want to. Open up your presents early. Being naughty.
Well, I mean, like, it's a card as well, but
there's something
clearly a thing in it.
In there.
And it's because it's not like a stamp, it's like a full-on thing.
You know,
so
at your own risk.
I'll ask Bronny himself. I'm like, so do I open it or like what?
I want you to do that.
What do you want from me here?
Let's see. Hi, hello, honey drop unicorn. Wait a minute, this isn't your room. Did you change spots? Yes, I'm in the living room because I wanted to be close to the router. Because last week the Wi-Fi was so terrible, so I got us closer to the router on my laptop and seeing if this works out better for us. Maybe this will just be our streaming room now. Because Sweetie streams in here sometimes.
I haven't done that since my leg healed up, but yeah.
Really? I swear.
Oh, no, wait, no, we did for the Christmas tree decorating and when I do cooking streams, yeah. So you're right, never mind.
This is our streaming area. Hi, did you keep the box I sent you? Juanita? Yes, I did, Juanita. I'm going to take that to work and fill it with stuff from my desk in my office because I'm working in the office now. Cookie play?
Yes.
They gave me free cookies at work that were from Jimmy John's, so more free cookies.
Exactly.
All the free stuff.
All the free cookies.
Let's see. Do you read webtoons? Yes, I do. I read, what what's the freaking? It's on my iPod and on my iPad where I read my webtoons. I read the one where it's like the worlds where your fingerprints determine who your love partner's gonna be. And I read a little bit of Lore Olympus and the Adventures of a Henchman, and I read quite a few of them. True Beauty is one of my favorites. I could go on and on about webtoons. But I'm in the Has-Been Hotel fandom now. Isn't everybody? Gosh, so much pink and red. Hey Heather, sorry about last week. I don't know why, but I'm sorry. Cool. Cool.
No, you have to be like, how dare you?
Oh yeah, sure. Sweetie, yeah, that's Sweetie. She's just running around. Hey Sweetie, how have you been?
I've been alright, how are you?
Hi Sweetie and Heather. Hi there, Heather Blossom and Sweetie Blue. I got it on purpose because glitter for you. Aw, thank you, Bonita. You're the best. Your present is coming late, but I think you're gonna like it. At least I'm gonna like giving it to you.
Aw.
And that's what matters most, is that I'm happy with it.
I mean, kinda.
Do you girls remember the Fox and the Hound? Did you ever cry a little at the end?
What? Do I remember the Fox and the Hound? I probably could recite it for you.
Girl, I think I've seen the first half of Fox.
You haven't seen the whole thing?
The ending, I assumed something really sad was going to happen. I didn't want to watch
Well,
the end.
you're not wrong. It has a very bittersweet ending. It's not like...
I remember, so he's with, the fox's old lady lets him out in the wild so he can be free.
That's actually one of the saddest parts of the movie for me.
I found that really sad too.
It's sad as hell.
No.
Yeah. The ending, it's not a pick-me-up.
Yeah, because I remember he was the fox against the hound because they were grown up and the hound's master was hunting him, but I don't think the hound wanted to hunt the fox.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what happened after that. Did someone
do
die?
you want me to... No, actually. Ironically, that's why I'm saying it's a bittersweet movie because there weren't a lot of deaths. Honestly, the only death in the movie I remember is Todd's mother at the very beginning.
Oh.
But it's still bittersweet. It's not exactly... It's a very adult film in the sense that you have to struggle with mature concepts that a lot of other kids shows are no, everything always ends happily ever after. And you sort of had to struggle with you know what, sometimes things can't work out.
Aww. Let's see what else we got. That's all that matters. LMFAO. Thanks, Monia. Rarity became my second favorite pony because I am also an artist. Aw. A really good webtoon is called I Am Not an Alicorn. It looks as if it could be part of the show and comic. I'm not an alicorn? That's interesting.
Totally not.
That's interesting. I'm glad that alicorn term is becoming a common use because I hate having to say to people outside of the fandom, I'm an alicorn, and they're like, what? I'm like, a unicorn with horns. Because that's typically what I have to say. I want an alicorn to be
Not a unicorn with horns?
A unicorn with horns. That's what you gotta tell me.
A unicorn with horns.
Oh, unicorn with wings. Sorry. Why do you have to be so mean about it? And be like, oh, I think you mean with wings, but you're like, nah, I'm gonna make her.
I'm gonna wait for it. There, she got it. All right, you gotta work these things out yourself, Heather. I can't do all the work.
Damn it! You're supposed to be second mom.
And second mom ain't gonna do your homework for you.
I don't want to go to school. Alright, let's see. I realize that even though Tom and Papa can never play like they used to, they'll always be best friends. Oh, that is bittersweet. It's one of the only MLP FIM webtoon out there. I guess I didn't really see a lot of fan works in webtoons. At least when I look at it, it's mostly original stuff. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised there's some pony stuff on there. I'll look for it. I'm interested. Woo!
I got him in shot when his tool is down.
Let's see. Does the camera see you? Let's see.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Lean back a little more. There we go.
There we go. Perfect. We're just chilling. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna put this onto the side over here a little bit. I can arrange this so I can see everything at once.
Nice.
Yes, I'm going to do that.
What are you doing, darling? Oh, I see.
And now I just gotta make the screen move right. Come on. Move to the side. There's usually a little bar at the bottom.
Yeah, there usually is.
I guess mine's just retarded.
You could just layer it like you were doing.
Yeah, like a little this.
Well, you have a touchpad, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if try making it smaller again.
Like this.
Let's see if the touchpad helps at all. No, well, I tried.
We did our best. We failed.
That was my only idea. I had the one. I'm tapped out for the day.
Yeah, alright. Oh, you know, we can just do it like this.
Yeah.
I'm just worried, like, if I ever clicked in the chat, but I realized I'm not gonna type.
You don't need to. Yeah, and you don't need to like
And I don't gotta
see
scroll.
yourself 24 hours 7, I suppose.
I have to. Alright. Sweetie, did you ever secretly wish to write an episode for the show?
That was never my thing. I'm not. I'm just because I know I'm not a writer. I'm not a very good writer, so.
I can write masterpieces, but no one appreciates them.
But don't get me wrong. If I was given the opportunity, I probably wouldn't have turned it down. But no, I was never the type who. I feel like a lot of the analysis community was like, yeah, I aspire to be a writer on a cartoon show one day. And that was never me. I was like, nah, I'm just messing around because I'm bored. And
That was me too.
Self-conscious.
Because I'm like, also, like, I don't think that's gonna make a lot of money. I mean, that's kind of a hard
It's
job to
not.
get.
It's about being a hard job to get. It can pay. I mean, it pays enough. Like, no, you'll never be like a millionaire, but I think it pays a decent amount of wages. Or maybe I'm skewed because I'm poor, but it's being a hard job to get. That's the thing. I'm like, you have to like know people and like be talented and stuff.
Yeah, you know people.
I do know people. That's kind of the sad thing. I have a lot of artist friends, and I know a lot of like people in the animation industry, and they're like, man, like if I had any talent at all, I probably could have gotten into the animation industry, but I don't. And you know, especially when you grow up with Yarrow, you really get very self-conscious about your artistic skills when one of your cousins can like spew out some Disney quality crap in 2 seconds, and you're struggling with stick figures. Alright, let's see if I can help out with chat.
Yes, please. I'm working on a Christmas present.
Okay, the sweater, yes. Funny thing about this sweater. I wore it all day at work, and one of my coworkers was like, he saw the back of it first, and he's like, oh my god, all of your Christmas sweater, is that a Star Wars sweater? And then I turn around and he's like, oh my god.
So you huge nerd.
Right? And then I think one of my other coworkers, she saw me in probably what was like the 4th ugly sweater she's seen me in. And then was like, is like half of your wardrobe just Christmas stuff? And I'm sort of like, maybe?
It does not shock me in the slightest, honestly. If
Alright. They posted a link in the community tab on your channel.
Oh, for the alicorn thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, for the crocheting, I'm making a striped scarf for Ronnie's brother-in-law, and that's the last Christmas present I have to make.
And you crochet like nothing.
I don't crochet like nothing, man. This has been like, well, I mean, it's not hard, but it's been very time-consuming.
Well, I know actually I tried picking up crocheting again, and I'll admit it's been like 8 years since I last tried, but I realized that I remember nothing.
Of course you didn't remember nothing. It's been 8 years. What did you expect to remember?
I don't know. I guess I thought I'd just jump back into it, but no. I'm like, oh crap! I have to learn all this crap over again.
No, it's not like riding a bike. You don't just hop onto it. You have to do it regularly.
Yeah.
The fact that I do it once a week is the only reason I really have kept up the skill.
Yep. Yeah.
Did you see it? Like, my friends sent me some yarn.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that on your Facebook post. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because my Instagram's connected to my Facebook. I always forget that. So like everyone's seeing everything.
Let me see. What? So, Clayton Johnson asks, remember the anime revolutionary girl Utena?
I do, but
You do? I was surprised because that's kind of before your time.
It was. I don't know why. I think it was on Hulu. And I was looking for anime to watch, and I'm like, ooh, pretty girls fighting with swords. I want to watch that. And I just watched it, and I was just like, kept watching it because I'm like, when is it gonna get full on gay?
I know. When is it gonna get full on gay?
Because I
That's
feel
the
gay.
question. That's the question. Watching Utena, I was like, when is it gonna get full on gay.
Because this feels gay.
It's very gay.
It's very gay. The reason I like Utena is fresh in my mind though is because recently with Steven Universe there was a fusion that looked very reminiscent of the silent.
Oh yeah,
Utena.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really liking a lot of the newer stuff with Steven Universe Future.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I liked Utena. I didn't get to watch all of it. I watched quite a few seasons though.
I didn't watch all of it either.
I'll be honest, I'm kind of confused with the plot.
It's very confusing. Look, okay, so I don't think I watched the entire anime, but I watched a good chunk. I read the manga, again, a good chunk. I didn't follow through all the way. And I saw the movie. Dear God in heaven, the movie.
Was it confusing? Was it bad?
It was worse. It was worse than you go into the movie and like, if you're properly prepped, someone should tell you, forget everything you ever knew about Revolutionary Girl Utena because it's not in this film. And it's just the most confusing, but it's so much more gay.
Okay, so if I want to just finally, because I kind of needed the payoff.
If you want the extra gay, but with a lot less sense, watch the movie. You don't know what's going on, but it's gay as hell.
Because I was just watching it the whole time, and it's like, can you two just fuck already? Because I'm like getting really pissed off that you're just not saying it. I need you to say that it's gay, okay? This isn't quit queer baiting me.
I think because I grew up at the time of the anime, and why I think the anime made me a little, maybe not uncomfortable. Why I probably kind of fizzled out of it. I think it was because it was too much gay for me. Too much gay for my straight mind. I couldn't handle it at the time.
I saw a lot of pretty boys in that show, too.
Well, the boys weren't gay enough for my taste.
Okay, make the boys more gay, and make the chicks just be outright gay so I can finally say, like, oh, finally.
Well, it was at the time where it was very, like, when it was coming out, it was very don't ask, don't tell.
See, I get that.
Yeah, like I very much like Utena's in the closet, but like also in denial. I think like she's very much like I'm not gay, and everyone's like, sure, honey.
I don't know. To me, she's kind of oblivious to her own gay.
Yeah, she's oblivious to her own gay.
And
yeah.
what was the little girl's name? I call her little girl even though she was just like the one that needed protecting.
Oh,
the name is.
I should remember her name. She was a secondary character. Apparently, Utena's the only character's name I remember.
Yeah, because her name's in the show, to be honest.
Yes.
In the title of it.
Yeah, well, true.
Effie, I think. No.
That sounds right.
It sounds right.
Or it sounds close. Anyway, let's find out.
No, like Effie Trinket is who I'm thinking about, and that's a Harry Potter character.
Effie Trinket.
I'm pretty sure that's a character. Right?
Where?
I don't know. Where did I come up with that?
I don't know.
Google that name right now.
How do you spell it?
Effie.
Trinket?
Who am I thinking?
Oh, it does come up.
Who's Effie Trinket?
She's from Game of Thrones,
Oh,
or not Game of Thrones.
It's from Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Effie
yeah.
Trinket. Okay, well it's not her.
Not her. That's not the same
Who
person
is it?
in the slightest.
Why did I get those?
I don't know.
Effie.
For those who haven't seen Utena, there is no one even remotely like Effie.
You know what I really
Anthe.
Anthe. Oh, Anthe, of course.
You were close. You were close.
Anthe. Yeah, Anthe. Like, Anthe was pretty much like, she looked like she could go live anyway. She was just like,
oh, she was bi as hell.
Like, I love everybody. Yeah.
She loves whoever the hell she's told to love.
Yeah, I was really, like,
That's
curious
what was
about
really,
that part.
well, that was what made me uncomfortable, I think.
Because she was just with anybody who was,
She was like, yeah, I'll sleep with you, and it's like, because it's my obligation to. I'm like, and you're in high school, and that makes me uncomfortable.
You know what else got me? What the fuck was going on with her and her brother?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure they were banging.
Yeah, I did. Like, part of me was like, I don't even want to know what.
I'm like, I don't want to know. I just feel
what
like
the hell?
I feel like I started watching Revolutionary Utena when I was too young to. Yeah, it came out in '97. I would have been 8.
Yeah, there was.
I was too young to understand what I was watching.
I want to say, in all honesty, I do love the anime.
Oh yeah,
because I thought it was really cool, and I thought the character design was really cool, and I kind of was cool with the chick on chick.
Yeah, but I don't think I was, and not that I was like the homophobic or anything. But I mean, you have to understand, I grew up in a Christian household, even though my sister was lesbian.
Yeah, you're like,
I knew that at the time. Like I wasn't told that at the time.
And
to say I didn't know that is a little bit of a stretch, but
I didn't get it. But like, you were like, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble for watching this.
No, I didn't. It was my parents were of the mind of it's animated, therefore it must be fine.
Oh.
So I had to censor my own stuff. So I was actually censoring it for myself. And I think, like, I don't know. It just made me uncomfortable at some point, and I'm like, it's too gay. I loved Utena as a character because she was a tomboy, but I'm like, can't tomboys be straight guys? Come on.
Yeah, he's just talking about the anime. I liked her outfit a lot.
I missed when it was pink.
Was it pink? I thought it was just
Pink
always
in the
red.
manga. No, no, it was black in the anime.
Oh, like the actual jacket was pink?
No, it was black. Oh, in the manga, her jacket was pink, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
She was pink as shit. That's why I loved it. I was like, oh my god, it's a manga about a pink chick, and she's a tomboy. Woohoo! It's like, yeah, she's a tomboy, and she's gay as fuck. I'm like,
actually, a while back, I drew Anthe and Utena as ponies. It's on my DeviantArt because I liked the show that much at that point. Really liked that show.
maybe that was what made it uncomfortable for me, is that as a tomboy myself, and with a lot of people like, oh, you're a tomboy, QED, you must be lesbian. I think having an anime that's like, oh yes, tomboy representation. Also, she's a lesbian. Damn it.
You can't have it all.
Can't have it both ways. Well, I guess Anthe can, but that's not the point.
Anthe, what the hell is wrong? Yeah, that kind of makes it hard for me to believe that she genuinely loves someone when she's...
I know, that's what was creepy to me. She very much was like, because I'm obligated to, and it was hard to like get that genuine emotion.
And I guess Utena's like the one who did want the best happiness and everything for her. There was this one kid who like seemed to really like Anthe, but then like he thought that she liked Utena better, but it's just because she was with Utena at the time. If you had already claimed her and you had fought Utena, she would have been like, yeah, go guy.
Yeah. Alright, anyway, let's see what the chat is doing. Heather, would you say Rarity looked good in the black sweater and beret?
Of course, she would look good in that and be very classy. She does her hair that wavy way. Love it.
Yep.
That's my girl.
Alright. Sweetie Bloom, how's your leg doing? Yeah, much better than my coworker. Poor thing. They found out, because she's not been healing as well as I did. And they found out that there was a little bit of a groove underneath her skin that he'd made, and they had to basically cut her leg open. Yeah, so she's not having a good time. But I'm alright. Just still some scabbing, but...
That super sucks.
Yeah, she's still, like, swollen and wrapped up, and it hurts for her to walk and stand. Although, to be fair, she's like, people like, sit down, and she's like, it's really just as bad when I sit down. She's like... And I sort of remembered that from my days, too. People would tell me to sit down all the time. Like, really, sitting down doesn't help much. Walking around always actually made it feel the best.
You get blood circulating.
Yeah, it was about blood circulation. So walking around actually felt the best, but standing still felt the worst. That always was really painful. But that was a long time ago. And what's funny is I feel like my healing path and her healing path have sort of deviated. Because, like, today she came into work, I'm like, hey, how you feeling? And she's like, well, it's the morning, so I'm fine. I'm like, oh, that's not how I remember it. I remember the mornings sucking. They were the worst. Alrighty, let's see. Here's an explanation. There's a lot of metaphors in the anime. Yes. The movie is a continuation of the show. I don't recall it being a continuation of the show. It seemed to be like a retelling. That's what I remember of the movie.
You know what I liked about it was like those two silhouette chicks that were always doing something weird. But
Yeah.
like it kind of was metaphorical and related to things.
Yeah, if you weren't like heavy into metaphors, the show also lost touch with you. I could barely, again, because I was pretty young, so I was barely keeping up with the metaphors.
I was slightly keeping up, and like a lot of stuff just like enthralled me for a while. But I think the reason is I didn't finish it was because Hulu only had a select number of it, and like it would have things that didn't have the best subs, so I stopped.
Right.
So yeah, I'm like, man, there was a lot I needed to know, and also I couldn't remember where I left off.
That's also how, like, if I were to pick up Bushina now, I'm like, I don't remember where I was.
Gonna have to start.
Gay
the whole
shit
thing
was
over
happening.
again.
Oh yeah. Actually, I probably
What
wouldn't
was Utena's thing? She had that backstory where like her parents died and she felt very upset, and a prince said like helped lift her up a bit, and she's like, you know what? That prince was so inspirational to me. I want to be a prince too.
Mm-hmm.
And did she ever find out who that prince was who like cheered her up?
Yes.
Was it a bad guy?
Well, yes. It is so complicated.
I remember her thinking about the prince, and it looked a lot like Anthe. So like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I'd reached that point in the manga where where it started getting really complicated, and I'm like, I'm done.
So was it Andy or like
No,
was
it wasn't. Wait, what was the next part of the question? Because I don't know.
Was it her brother or like
No, but yes, no, but yes.
a reincarnation, a dead
Kinda.
cousin? But like
Kinda.
Utena, what the fuck?
Exactly. That's basically the anime in a nutshell. Uchi's best friend is named Wakaba. Right, Oh, that wasn't who we were talking about, but I remember that character.
I remember
She
Wakaba too. Wasn't she into a guy who like posted her love letter onto the bulletin board to make fun of her?
Yeah.
And that's what started.
And that's what
everything?
started
And
everything,
Wakaba was
yeah.
also kind of gay with Utena.
Yeah, she would like glomp the hell out of her.
I kind of ship them more. They're adorable.
I shipped, yeah. I was like, what about your best friend who like glomps you every time she sees you? I shipped that. No, gotta be the one who's willing to put out for nothing. It's off-putting.
Fucking.
I didn't mind the art style. The art style was fine.
Yeah,
Actually, it was very beautiful anime.
I thought
from
it
what
was
I remember.
very pretty. I liked it. It's definitely an older anime look.
Yes, it is.
So if you're liking the shiny, bouncy
The new
animes that
stuff,
are now,
yeah,
then maybe
then-
you won't like that. I find it hard sometimes going back to old anime, like Robotech. I keep trying to watch, even though I keep having a hard time finding episodes. But it's very much like a fuzzy looking anime.
Yeah, I think I remember saying that when I was trying to convince people to watch Yu Yu Hakusho. And then I would go back and watch Yu Yu Hakusho, and I'd be like, warning, the art style is very dated. It's like, it's pretty for the time, but it was pretty for the time. It's not
I
necessarily
remember liking Yu Yu Hakusho though. I think I watched the first a series of episodes. I'm like, man, this is really interesting. This guy's dead, but he's like not dead.
Yep, he's dead, but he's not dead. Exactly.
You know what's funny? I think I went to like a Yoshinoya and they were giving out Yu Yu Hakusho toys, and I had like the guy.
Oh,
the guy who had like the bubble gum.
Yeah, not bubblegum. It was, he had a pacifier.
He was a baby then. Yeah. I had him, and I was just like, what's this? And then I watched the show, I'm like, oh, it's that guy.
Wow, I can't believe I can't remember his name. Yama?
Maybe.
Something like that.
I don't remember character names. I wasn't that hard into it.
I was, which is why I'm feeling bad, because he was a kick-ass character. Once you actually got more info on him, he became really cool. I don't know, it was the whole thing. Anyway.
There's tons of old animes I've watched and never finished. And
Well, I can imagine.
Oh yeah. Just picking shows up and then dropping them off to watch something else.
Yeah.
You did that with Yu Yu Hakusho, Inuyasha.
It's okay, actually. I never finished Inuyasha.
I liked Inuyasha when I was watching it. Now what else did I like?
I liked it at first. It then went in a direction I couldn't follow.
Yeah, it was a little. I don't remember actually what was where I left off. I remember them still doing the will. Well, they probably did that the whole anime, the will they won't they thing.
Oh yes. That's
did.
what ended up sort of being frustrating for me. There was some element that I really didn't like, and the whole will they won't they thing was getting really frustrating.
Oh yeah, they probably dragged it on.
They dragged that on so long.
The thing with Inuyasha is he was in love with the lady that the main character looks like.
Is reincarnated from.
Oh, so okay, it's always a reincarnation thing.
Yeah, it was a reincarnation thing. So the main chick is reincarnation of this other chick, and that other chick had a thing with Inuyasha. But yeah, I don't know.
What broke them up? Because I remember he was stuck to a tree because of the arrow she put in him.
So you want to know the whole thing?
Sure, go into it
whole
because I'm not watching it again.
That's fair. So what had happened is there was some sort of demon who fell in love with Kikyo and was getting all jealous about the whole Inuyasha Kikyo thing, and because of the Kikyo thing, and of course since he's a sociopath, he thought the best way to express his love for Kikyo is by killing her and Inuyasha, but not only just killing them, but breaking them up and ripping out their hearts. So the Shiko no Tama, the Jewel of Four Souls, it could turn Inuyasha into a pure demon, or it could turn him into a pure human. And his love for Kikyo, she was like, if you use it to become a full human, the jewel will be destroyed, or the jewel will basically cease to exist, and it will stop being a threat, and I'll no longer need to have my whole life dedicated to protecting it, and I'll be free to do whatever I want. And so they were basically going to do that, but then this demon disguises himself as Inuyasha, attacks Kikyo, and gives her the mortal wounds she ends up dying from, and then steals the jewel, saying, oh yeah, no, aha, you're so foolish, I'm going to use this to become a pure demon. And then he also does something similar to Inuyasha, where he acts like, oh, Kikyo betrayed him, so he gets all butthurt about it, and then he steals the jewel out of spite. And then she pins him to a tree, also out of spite from what they think happened, but didn't actually happen. And
what does this dude look like? I have to see a visual.
Naraku is his name.
Now,
If I recall.
give me some visuals. I want to see it. Because I'm actually kind of digging that.
Really? Because I thought it was so convoluted and stupid.
It's convoluted, but it's yandere, and that's my shit. Hot.
Well,
It's his human
I wouldn't
form.
say he's yandere so much as just psychotic.
And that's kind of what I think yandere is, because when I think yandere, I'm thinking of freaking, what's it called? Because my first introduction to yandere was Future Diary. And have you ever, like, freaking met Yuno? She's messed up. Like, murderous, traveled through time, and screwed up another dimension just so she could do it all over again, kind of thing. It was convoluted and messed up, but it was funny.
Yeah.
I mean, well, funny to look back on, but, like, interesting to watch. Like, if I'm looking for something more tame, I would go into, like, a tsundere thing. Tsunderes can be fun for a limited time, but then you're like, okay, I'm bored, just kiss him
Yeah,
already.
just kiss already. Yeah.
I'm bored with... Tsunderes are fun for a little bit.
For a little bit, and then you're like, oh my god, shut up and kiss, or move on, or something.
You know what's a show, like, an anime I like that I only watched the first season of was Baka and Test.
I've never seen that one.
Yeah, it's, I love their little theme song. Perfect area complete. It was like a freaking school where, like, grades matter a lot, and you're in the
Like most schools?
most schools in Japan at that. And then of course, they were in the class that had all the worst grades and the worst stuff. And,
Oh, right.
And-
I remember seeing like a trailer or some crap for that one.
yeah, I thought the art style was very, very cute. And of course, the thing was that, like, they also had like a virtual kind of layering to the school where they have little avatars where they fight each other, and how high your level is dependent on your grade. And they had some kids in that class that had high grades in one subject, and everything else they sucked. Like one girl, well, I think they transferred her from Germany or something, but she was really good at math. But that was all she was good at, was just math. And like her math scores would have easily placed her in like school, like a freaking class B or something, because they're class F. Clever. And but of course, like, our main character, the protagonist, is the dumbest of the dumb.
Of course.
And but that gives his avatar special abilities, because he is so low in grades, he has to do extra credit stuff like help teachers out with physical things. And so, like, his avatar can, like, pick up physical things and interact with the physical world for some reason to help with work, I guess. But he could also feel the physical pain of when his character gets hurt.
Oh, that's problematic.
Yeah, it is. And it's funny. It's not like a life-ending kind of thing. It's mostly just like if you get hurt in the virtual world, you lose your status and your points, and your grades goes down, and then you have to go take remedial classes. And so, like, this big teacher would come in when your character died and be like, "Okay, time to go. You're dumb now." So that was fun.
Good gracious.
It was great. But there is one girl, of course, the protagonist is obviously in love with.
Right.
Big titty, pink hair girl. Who also loves him. She's not tsundere, but she's trying, like, she wrote him a letter and everything. She's trying to get her feelings out. She's really nice. But, of course, she's actually supposed to be in Class A, but the only reason she didn't is because she failed her entrance exam because she fainted, because she was sick. And they were like, part of the exam is coming healthy, so you can take the exam, so they put her in Class F. But, of course, she took makeup exams and got all A's, and now she's, like, the highest level person in that class. And that's where she wants to stay, because the boy she loves is in there. And then there's the tsundere chick, who's obviously not getting the protagonist, but is in love with him, and they've been for 3 years. And she's the one that's really good at math. Poor dear. Love that one, though.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. There was one anime I watched all the way through called Angel Beats. And I watched it because...
I remember Angel Beats.
Yeah. One of my ex-boyfriends was really into it, and I watched the whole thing, and I'm like, I was nervous watching it. I'm like, this is about dead kids, and it's gonna get really sad. He's like, yep, but keep watching.
Yep.
And then it was just sad. I'm like, oh, why'd you make me watch it? Because it was sad and it was really good.
Yeah, it's not a happy anime.
It's not happy. It's very sad, but it's very nice. I actually.
It's not. Yeah, it's a good anime, but it's like if you want to pick me up, that ain't it.
Yeah, I don't watch it for fun, but I'm glad that I watched it. And then there's some animes that I stopped watching by choice, but I like Death Note. After they killed off L, I wasn't into it anymore. But I watched the ending.
I ended up watching all of Death Note, but yeah, after they killed off L, I was like, oh, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, and, like the whole thing was about L, and like after
and they're like, it's okay, we have like new pseudo L. I'm like, I don't care, it's still not L.
It's like, yeah, these ones sucked. I mean, like before, like L was kind of weird and stuff, but you're like, yeah, he's on the spectrum or something. But these ones just seem like they're spoiled ass kids. Like one of them won't stop eating chocolate, and the other one's playing with toys while he's talking to people.
Yeah.
I didn't like them.
Spoilers, by the way.
Oh yeah, well, it's been out for years.
Yeah, I know. Like you should be watching Death Note.
I like Death Note before L died. When L died is probably where it should have ended. Or make an epilogue where like maybe I don't know, maybe L left something behind, not his kids. Not his kids that would help them figure it out.
I don't think they were his kids.
Well, they're not his. Well, they're his proteges, so his kids. And originally, the creator was like he was gonna make them his kids, but he's like, yeah, L would not be with someone in a way where he could have two kids. So I'm just gonna make them
a functional relationship with L. I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Especially not a one night stand with L either.
Yeah, I was like, does he even like? I considered him ace. So
yeah,
like,
me too. Like I don't know, he liked Misa.
Did he?
Yeah, because he kissed her on the cheek, and then he was like, I could fall for you. And she's like, nah, don't go that far. And he was probably just like, yeah, all right, fine.
I think he's just an awkward kid.
Yeah, I liked him a lot.
Genius kid.
Yeah, genius kid, and he's gonna have his quirks for that.
Mm-hmm.
That whole sitting position. Then they did that live action freaking.
Screw the live action movie.
I don't know. I didn't watch it because obviously I didn't like some of the choices they made with the characters. But you know what I did like was how the freaking demon looked.
Oh yeah, he looked great.
He looked great.
Yeah.
And it looked awesome. I can't even remember his name right now.
Riku? No, that's not right.
No,
it starts with an R though. I'm pretty sure.
It does. I don't remember, but he looked really good. I would like a Death Note, just like memorabilia wise.
Ryuku.
Okay, you were close.
I was darn close.
So
dang
he
it.
looked pretty
Yeah,
good.
I think this is him in the live action. Yeah, and he looked great.
Yeah. Actually, I think he looks scarier. I don't know. Look up Netflix with Ryuku. Because I think that might be it. But then again, I remember I was going through Death Note stuff at one point, and there was also CG stuff that they did that was originally Japanese stuff. Not 100%.
That is the best thing I'm finding right now. There we go.
Oh yeah, see, he looked even freaking worse.
Mm-hmm.
He looked scary. I liked it a lot. I want to see him eat some apples.
Yeah, there you go.
They did something right with it. There's always some bit of gold, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's enough worth for me like to actually watch that.
It's not, but yeah. Riku was the only decent part, really.
Okay, I'll just look up a Ryugu, whatever the heck his name is, compilation, and just watch that part.
Fair enough. We've been ignoring you
Oh,
guys.
hey, it's Shady Oak. It was a reference to the second coming of Christ. El voluntarily laid down his life and washed the feet of light before it happened, then returned with white hair. Revelation 19. You know what? If they somehow brought El back from the dead with white hair, like maybe freaking
God, I think they're trying to say that they did. The kid had white hair.
Oh, but he sucked though.
Too
bad.
That was sort of the thing, is I felt like the replacement was not as good as the original.
They gotta. I don't know how you would have done it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I'm not.
That's one of those things like that sucked. How would you have done it differently? I don't know, but not that.
I will say the way they ended the series though, because I watched that part, because I skipped everything, watched that part. It was exactly how I would have wanted.
How to go? Yeah,
that's how I would have wanted him to go. Like just like out laughing,
yeah.
and dying. I did like another thing the creator added on. I think it was either an alternate ending or an ending he secretly wanted to have. Was that Light ends up in the world of the Shinigami, and like he has to relive all the deaths that he caused as Kira. And he goes, and he, like, Ryuku's like, yep, now you're gonna die here. Too bad the fun's over. And he goes, and he starts hearing, like counting stuff. And she's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm calculating how many people I've killed. And with this, I think I have enough time to get to the Shinigami King and make a deal. And you just see, like, Riku follow light into the sunset because he's like, wow, you never stop getting interesting. So I liked that ending,
nice.
and to me, I think that's probably the best ending.
Yeah.
So that's my canonical ending in my head, so I'm sticking with it.
There you go.
That was really great. So yeah. How long did it go on after Elle died? Like, how much longer?
Actually, not that long. I feel like it was like one season. Like that was it.
Maybe I'll muscle through it one day.
Yeah, I mean, I muscled through it. So it's.
Were there bits that were good? I did like that the Misa had a sad song when he like died.
Yeah. It
Poor
was.
girl.
There were good bits. Yeah.
Poor demented girl.
Yeah.
And there was that one freaking annoying Reaper that I didn't like who was like, give me back my book.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He was gross. I didn't like him. I did love Misa's whole story.
Of course you did.
What? Like a freaking shitty dummy loved her and then gave his life for her, and then she's like, I have a whole bunch of life now. I'm gonna give up my life for like this guy, and then she's like the ultimate. And I'm like, whoa, but you're the saddest thing, and I love you.
I did like. Oh no, I liked it as considered like an original story arc. I liked that, but the thing is, she knew it. She knew that her Shinigami had fallen in love with her, and she was going to manipulate that for her own uses. Like she very much was manipulating other people's affections for her.
Yeah.
And
I will say,
now, to be fair, Light was doing the same thing with her.
And I think
So,
she kind of knew that.
she
too.
knew that.
It was a
Oh,
really,
well.
she's very Harley Quinn in that way.
She's very Harley Quinn. She is pretty much anime Harley Quinn.
I love
Yeah.
her. She's super sad. I wonder what she even does after that. Does she kill herself? Because I feel like she was at the edge of a cliff or something when she was singing that, or something, like someplace very high, and I was worried.
Don't think she dies, but she doesn't get a happy ending either.
You know what? She needs some help.
She needs some help.
This girl needs therapy.
She needs help.
Yeah, I think I would like to. The reason she loved Kiro so much was because he helped get vengeance against people who had killed her parents.
Yeah, but that's demented.
It is demented. That's the whole point.
Like she doesn't. She's psychopath. She's just psychopathic as he is, you know. And it's just like, I mean, I'm not in that sense. They're meant for each other, I guess. But he clearly didn't reciprocate it.
And he was just like, yeah, like his whole thing when he was just like, I love you, Misa, and on the inside he's thinking like,
I'm gonna use the heck out of you. Yeah, that was his whole thing.
I'm talking about so much anime. I'm not even talking about like my own type favorite. What I think is like the best anime is Code Geass.
I haven't seen enough of that to have much of a conversation.
I know. It's just that it was a plot I could actually kind of follow with politics and everything going on, and giant fucking robots.
I mean, that'll do
And
it.
the power of Geass. So it was interesting to me on that level, and the characters were very interesting for me to watch. And I can't believe I watched the whole damn thing. I can't believe it was all dubbed in English. It was.
Yeah.
You can find it.
Pretty sure it was Funimation, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, way to go, Funimation.
I think so.
That was a good run.
Funimation makes some great stuff.
Yeah, actually, like I never even got to have Code Geass merch, but now that we have things like Etsy, I can totally have some, and I'm probably gonna get myself some one day. Maybe I'll get some. Treat myself to that.
There you go. Alrighty, so let's see here. Sweetie, what was your first thought after seeing Finn's gingerbread form? I actually haven't seen the video, but I did obviously. I was there for the pitch and the script and all that. I actually asked to be written out of that script, not because I had anything wrong with it, but because I was having issues with my microphone and just in general issues of continuing with TF2 in general. So my part was actually, basically Finn was like, oh, I was going to write you in as this person doing this, you know? And I'm like, have Ellie do that. Have Ellie be the sensible person who brings everything into perspective. You know, that was originally going to be my character, but I was like, I basically asked to be written out because I couldn't record as
if
much
you
as
ever
I
want,
wanted.
you can borrow my mic.
It's not about that. It's about not wanting to invest the time and effort in things that are meaningless. But yeah, but it was, you know, it was crazy creepy and all that stuff. So yeah, his thing was actually supposed to come out before mine, but because his script ended up being so much more complicated than mine, they just released mine out first. But yeah, let me see. So did you know the fun fact I mentioned about Casablanca lilies? I didn't see it. Give me a minute.
Sorry, we're talking too much
We're
about
talking
anime.
about anime. Casablanca lilies.
Got it.
Okay. stupid anime.
I'm glad I finished the first season of Fruit Baskets a while ago.
Oh, finally!
Oh yeah, I did that a while ago. I spent like one solid Sunday just watching everything. I love Fruit Baskets.
I love Fruit Basket.
Yeah, like didn't it win an award or something?
Probably, maybe. I don't know.
I heard. I saw a highlight reel somewhere that's like Fruit Baskets, best shoujo manga, whatever or something.
I'm afraid I missed it, and I'm not gonna go back to the entire history of the chat, so I apologize. Sorry. L was high IQ, but his EQ was very low. His emotional intelligence was very low. It's actually very commonly misdiagnosed as someone with autism. It happens to a cousin. Isn't there a form of autism that technically has more to do with your emotional IQ than your
Brandon's coming in! Yay! I'll turn off the volume so I want it to be able to be captured. Prepare thyself. I am prepared! I'll just leave that open. He'll pop in when he pops in.
Okay. The Chaos Hedgewolf. Oh god, sorry. Hey, it's been a while since says Prince Chaos, the Chaos Hedgewolf.
Wow, that's a long name.
That is a long name. It's Dark Side the Creepypasta. Nice to meet you.
Dark Side of Creepypasta. I don't know that guy, but yeah, I'm sure you do. Maybe. I don't know.
I never understood why Sailor Saturn wasn't used in the original Sailor Moon. I mean, she was important to the story. She was, as much as she was used in the manga. The thing about Sailor Saturn is she was very OP. So she couldn't be used
Dude,
much.
I don't even remember Sailor Saturn. Now that I think about it, I'm trying to think of all the Sailor Scouts I know off the top of my head. I got Sailor Venus, Sailor Mercury, Sailor Jupiter, Sailor Mars, Sailor Moon, Sailor Mini Moon. I can't remember all the planets.
Can't remember all the planets.
I said Sailor
Those
Mercury, right?
You did. Those are what we call the inner senshi. The main 5. Sailor Moon, Sailor Mercury, Sailor Mars, Sailor Jupiter, Sailor Venus. Those are the inner senshi. Then there are the outer senshi. Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune. Well, first up to show up was Sailor Pluto. Then there was Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune. And then there was Sailor Saturn. Now, she shows up in the 3rd season. And actually, the good first chunk of that season is that some of the outer scouts are trying very hard for her not to awaken. Because the thing about Sailor Saturn is she's the bringer of the apocalypse, basically. She's OP in the sense that she is the most powerful Sailor Scout because she brings the end of the world. Like she only has one power and it ends the world. So, fun times. Anyway, alright, let's see. I have, apparently the Chaos Prince, the Prince Chaos, the Chaos Hedgehog Wolf has some news for you. Heather?
News for me.
He's a father now.
Oh, father.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yay.
Was it recent? Is it a December baby?
You're so happy birthday to the baby. Oh, we have someone who loves Code Geass. Honey Drop the Unicorn loves Code Geass.
Code Geass is the banger.
Did you know Sailor Moon made a Sleeping Beauty reference in the manga? It had a whole episode related to Sleeping Beauty in the original anime. It was kind of hammed in.
You know, an anime I keep going back to is School Rumble. That's an anime I keep going back to and rewatching. Because freaking, how do you know I love School Rumble?
You're just the type. Plus, you and Bronny are those main characters.
Right? I'm telling him that. I'm like, Bronny, you're Haruma. And he's like, what do you mean? And then there's the part where Haruma has a bald head. And he's like, oh no! And I'm like, yeah, that's you. Also, he's stupid. And he's always getting his butt kicked. Poor Haruma. I love Haruma, but poor guy. And then there was a part where Haruma was growing a beard for the longest time. It was bizarre.
It says, hold on.
And I can actually remember the names to a lot of the characters in that anime.
Looks like it was an October baby.
Oh, October.
So,
baby.
happy 3-month-ish.
Halloween party every year.
Curly is his name.
Curly. Oh, that's an interesting one.
Yeah. Can I? Oh, I cannot hear you. Are you in a call? Come back in here.
He's in the call.
He's in the call. I just don't hear him. Let me see. What's my? Yeah, it should be my speakers. You know what? Let me go into my settings and see if it's something with me. Oh, there. Post video. Output. Is my speakers. That should be it. Should be fine. Say something, Brandon.
Something.
There you go. We got you.
Jesus, I thought you were I thought like you just didn't notice me or were purposely ignoring me.
No, why would I do that? I'm not a dick. I would probably be like, hey, look, Brandon's here. Brandon, watch the chat so Sweetie can sit
Yeah,
back.
so I can sit down. You do your job.
Yeah, because I'm not even going to look at the chat now. I'm going to look at me.
So I just came back from my little brother's birthday party. That was pretty cool, I guess.
Oh, let me put this here so I make sure the chat can hear you. There you go.
What's it called? Yeah, no, it was pretty fun, although my dad, he has dogs, and I was there for like 3 hours, so that was enough to have my asthma flare up and everything, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nauseous right now, but I'm here.
Do you need some soda or some crackers or something?
No, just some time to kind of like
Settle that
I guess
stomach.
settle.
If there's
Probably by the end of this room should be fine.
if there's anyone who can relate to having stomach pains, it's moi. So
I don't have stomach pains. I'm just a little nauseous. Mostly if I'm speaking loudly, so I'm just not
yeah, there's
being loud.
yeah, like I get nauseous at nothing. You gotta look at me wrong. You gotta hug me the wrong way. Eat sugar too close to bedtime.
So what are you working?
I'm working on a scarf for Bronny's brother-in-law. He says he's a very practical type of person who would like to wear a scarf that kind of like fits into his lifestyle. He works on a farm, I think he does.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I thought these were earthy.
Mm-hmm.
That's useful.
You know, a scarf's pretty utilitarian.
Yeah.
Handmade.
Yeah.
That stuff. I find it very nice that like Bronny's sister, who was a vet, married a guy who worked at a farm.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, wow, that kind of goes together.
Well, yeah.
Good job.
Tend to have similar views on life.
That's cool. Bronny says, like, you're gonna have your Switch. If you're playing with your Switch in front of the kids, they're gonna bug you because they don't have a Switch. I'm like, should I have gotten them a Switch for Christmas? He's like, no, don't give them a Switch.
Oh yeah. Don't know if he's watching. He probably isn't. He's probably still driving. But
Oh,
in
no.
the event-
Bronny made it to New York. He's with his family, but they're at someone else's house, and he's probably catching up with his family right now. So I'm not going to count on him coming in tonight. He might pop in to say hello. Maybe. I'm not going to count on
so
him.
I was gonna say I wish it was a safe and not stressful drive, but I guess I don't have to now.
Yeah, I think he
his
was...
location.
I was on the phone with him for like an hour on his last leg of his journey. Yeah, when he would finally arrive to the person's house, he's like, I don't know where they are. I'm like, "Good, that's the sign that you need to call your mom." I talked to my mom a while after that because I want to talk to my mom before I get to New York, just in case, so she knows like I got there safe, and I'm probably gonna be really distracted and not be able to have a long phone call with her over Christmas. We're gonna definitely try to call her on Christmas, see if I can. And I had to send out her cardigan with my pictures of me and Knife with Santa because they sent it back to me because I realized I didn't put her apartment number on there. Isn't that the worst? So I sent it back out today. Hopefully, I mean, it's not going to get to her by Christmas, no way. But she'll get it. And it's fair because she was saying, like, yeah, my stuff's going to get late to you too anyway. And I'm like,
Heather Stretch.
oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh, honey, could
I
you
was gonna
get
say
me a
something.
hard lemonade?
Sure.
A strawberry.
Strawberry?
They're at the back.
Okay.
Grab yourself one too, if you'd
Okay.
like. You
let
still...
me just say
No.
that is
Okay.
a fine.
Tell me if I'm causing you pain.
After a hard day.
I'm sorry, Brandon. What we're saying, I was concerned about her walking pattern.
I was gonna say about Knife. That is a fine specimen. That is a very exquisite cat.
Yes, she is. She is a masterpiece.
In fact, I'm gonna take out the pictures again and look at them, and then.
I
say,
sent some to Brandon
give me a
too.
second.
Awesome. Of course he has some.
Aww. Sorry, I was looking at the pictures.
Yeah, I sense like a lot of people those pictures of me with knife with Santa. I gotta remember to like go on your Twitter and save that to my phone so I can show it to Brian's family.
Oh.
Be like, this is me and my baby, and they're like, you have a son. Oh.
They would have been like, hold on, baby.
Wait,
Ronnie, what have you been up to?
Give it a second.
Yeah, I had a
Clayton
baby
asked
in
me
that
to
short span
scroll
of
up and
time.
read the fun fact. Alright, but I'm gonna do it in my fun fact tone. Where is the fun fact actually? Oh, I don't think I can pronounce any of those. I don't think I can pronounce any of those things.
What? What are you trying to pronounce?
The fun fact Clayton wants me to say. I'll just go for it. Did you know the the fun fact was basically that the original VA for Ray loved those types of lilies? And,
Oh, the Casablanca lilies.
and Naoko added that to the manga.
Gotcha.
That's neat.
That makes sense.
Did you? I now have to think of a fun fact to say in that voice now.
It's okay.
Okay, right.
Ronnie, show them your Mickey Mouse laugh.
What did you just call him?
Brandon.
Whoa.
Sorry,
Mm.
I do it all the time because Brandon and Bronny's not far from each other.
I see how it is. Replacement wife.
Okay, Brandon.
That's what you. Aha! We'll see. We ship
Did you
it.
know? Did you know? Los Angeles' full name is El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora la Reina de Los Angeles.
Is that true?
Yes,
I doubt it.
Actually, it means the town of Our Lady, the Queen of the Angels of Porziuncola.
Huh?
It's Spanish.
You want Coke?
It's Spanish. Heather, aren't you doing a Duolingo thing for Spanish?
I stopped doing it for a little bit because, well, I'll be honest, I got tired because it felt like doing homework.
I did. I
I
tried out Duolingo. I did a short trial for Turkish. The only thing I know how to say is apple, and it's like Ema or something.
Well, if you ever get hungry, you know how to just ask for one.
Mhm.
Apple?
But then they're gonna say in Turkish, what kind of apple? And I'm gonna be like,
Apple!
oh.
They're just like, okay, here, idiot.
And then they're just gonna toss it at me.
Chuck an apple.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Shut up, Warner.
Bucket5 asks, Heather, do you or Sweetie own any ugly Christmas sweaters?
Hi.
I don't really have sweaters for
Your
Christmas.
sweater is ugly.
I know. I like it.
I actually don't think I have any ugly sweaters.
Shameful. We'll have to amend that. I have probably half a dozen at this point.
After Christmas, there's bound to be sales of leftover ugly sweaters, so I can go look for one. Have it for next year.
You know what's funny? I had an ugly Thanksgiving sweater,
Oh.
and I won the ugly sweater contest at my work's Christmas party. I got a $20 Target gift card, and I went to Target, and I got an ugly New Year's sweater.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
That's some
Freaking-
fucking priorities.
I do have an ugly Thanksgiving sweater. It's that I think I showed it to you. It's like a sequenced turkey, and like instead of like
Oh
I'm the
yeah,
head of it,
you're the head of the turkey. Yeah, I saw that.
It
This is
says,
ridiculous.
I love it. I wear it every year for Thanksgiving now.
Like, I usually just wear a brown sweater for Thanksgiving, but I think I happened to be in Party City, and I saw a brown sweater that was also, like, an ugly Thanksgiving sweater, and I'm like, I gotta have it. And yeah, so,
Yeah, there's
especially
not a-
since I was going to work. And they're like,
There's not
oh,
a ton of Thanksgiving merch that I've seen, at least. The closest thing I've seen is my family used to have this turkey, this like, I don't even kind of like an animatronic. It was just like it was like you put it on your table and it sings the song and it makes some movement. In this case, it was turkey in
It's
the
like
straw.
those fish
Oh, the
things
turkey in
that
the
you
straw,
put on
yeah.
your wall too, right? Like kind of like those.
No,
Does
it was
anyone remember
just.
those?
I remember
turkey.
those, but I think he's talking more like a centerpiece.
They have.
I guess I don't know. And then it broke, but
Oh.
I haven't seen anything like that.
I always thought those
Okay.
fishes were kind of creepy. But it was kind of funny, but creepy. But
Bucket 5 asks, Sweetie, do you think the finale made AJ and RD a couple?
Yes. I'm sorry, but there's I know some people don't want to think it, and they are welcome to that opinion. But I'm pretty sure they were pretty blatant.
I don't know. I would like a hotter ship.
I mean,
I wasn't a fan of it, but I do think that's what they were going for.
I definitely think that's what they were going for, but I'm like, I wanted something
Sweetie,
better.
it's at this point it's kind of scripture that you like to ship a lot of things. So
Yes. The thing is, though, I didn't like shipping within the main 6 because I felt like it just. I liked the idea that they were all equally in the same amount of friendship, and then there were no 2 friends that were really closer to each other than they were to the rest of the main 6. So that so I never liked pairing the main 6 with each other for that reason, and so that's why I wasn't a fan of it. But it's not my show.
I liked Rarity and Applejack better. But, like, you know what? They say in Equestria Girls they're shipping that super hard. And I'm like, are they? I haven't really seen anything.
I don't watch Equestria Girls, so heck if I know.
That'd be hot.
Good news, I don't feel nauseous anymore. And
Yay.
also,
Surprising.
Brandon, did you know that the manga from Promised Neverland is amazing? No, I didn't know that.
Is that a fun fact or is that an opinion?
Yeah.
It's an opinion. It's definitely an opinion.
Hey, kiddo.
Clayton also asks, Sweetie, remember when Tomoyo-chan saw a meat bun illusion?
Yes. He's referring to Cardcaptor Sakura. Tomoyo. Yes, there was a time where they were meeting the illusion card, and the thing is that it showed everybody what they were thinking of, and so like some people saw ghosts, some people saw, like Sakura saw her mom, and then Tomoyo was like, I saw a meat bun, and they're like, what? She's like, I was hungry.
Isn't that the best? That's like the freaking Ghostbuster thing where like you're like, don't think of something scary. He's like, I thought of the Marshmallow Man. There comes the Marshmallow Man. Oh God. I gotta watch
Bucket
Ghostbusters
5
again.
asks, Sweetie, have you ever thought about what your own wedding dress would look like?
Not really. That's probably not in the cards for me.
You wanna come on the couch?
Battleship says,
Come on the couch, not scratch the couch, you brat. Sorry, continue.
Heather or Sweetie, same question, 4th time. I want to see the process by which you all make TF2 episodes. I don't know if that's really something to get into, but okay.
I assume it's like any other thing. They script it, they voice it, they edit it. And I assume it goes through different people, so that'd be kind of a process hard to like log for people to watch.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's not really something to be broadcast.
And plus, it would give away so many spoilers.
Yeah, definitely we couldn't let people in on, like, into the chat or anything like that.
Honey Drop, I'm gonna, I see how you spell my name. Look in the chat, I'm gonna tell you. There you go. That's how you spell it.
Kiki. You want
Anyway, Honey Drop is asking what we all think about the myth about Atlantis.
The movie?
The Lost
I
Empire?
don't know.
I'm assuming. I loved Atlantis.
I liked Atlantis.
I think the only thing I didn't like is I didn't like the art style. I didn't like how everyone's, like, the square fingers thing. It annoyed me.
I kind of liked it.
I didn't know this was a piece of media, because I saw a myth about Atlantis, and the first thing that went through my mind is, okay, maybe Honey Drop is actually talking about Atlantis, and when I'm assuming she is saying myth, I'm assuming that she doesn't believe in Atlantis, and
Well,
I don't know.
My mom
I've
tried,
seen that.
when I was little, when I watched the movie, I told my mom, like, Mom, is Atlantis real? And she was like, yeah, it is real. They do sell those crystals. And I'm like, Mom, there are people out there that live forever?
No.
I don't know why she tried to sell me that.
I don't know why either. No,
Maybe
it's,
she wanted me to. Maybe she
Why?
wanted me to just enjoy it.
I guess.
Because I always thought the necklaces were really cool. And like I had one as a toy, and you could make it light up.
Cute.
So I think she just wanted me to get lost in the fantasy, but she did like play it off like really. She acted very much like, wait, yeah, it's real. It's real.
That's fair.
Look at you.
Yeah, star of the show.
Queen. You're the
beautiful. I love you.
Can you put this on the thing? I don't want her to knock it over. I had it over here.
Try to remember which one's which. Oh, why am I not using the coasters? Shame on me.
Yeah, that's
Alright,
what
I'm Trixie, and you're the horrifying man with wings.
That's
Horseman with
Bojack
wings.
Horseman.
Horrifying horseman
I
with
bought it
wings.
specifically just to be horrifying.
Yeah. Well, it worked.
You're welcome.
Come back. The people want to look at you, baby. They love you. You're the star.
That is
Just
that
see her
is a
face.
cat. That is a cat.
Yes.
Yeah, she is. She's just kind of sitting there wondering what to do because she's like, why are you both on the couch?
Right.
You're looking at yourself.
Did you know that cats don't have skeletal systems, but they are made of rubber?
That is definitely not true.
Did you know?
Did you know that I had to spend I had to learn the entirety of a cat skeletal
Get your
system?
butt off my microphone.
No, it's her microphone now.
It's gonna smell like cat butt.
Exactly.
Ew.
It's her microphone now.
Bucket5 asks Heather, is your OC blind without those sunglasses on her face?
They are prescription, but she can see without it, just not very well. Also, she shoots laser beams out of her eyes, so.
If she's like a super OP alicorn, why doesn't she just cure her blindness?
Yeah.
Just getting a little bit of the dry skip off.
Yeah.
I'm always afraid I'm gonna irritate her with that.
Oh, she usually.
Heather, this is your OC. I want answers.
Oh, what was the question?
If she's like a super awesome alicorn of awesome, I guess, I don't know. Why can't she just fix her eye problems herself? Just do
I don't know, the
magic.
same reason Moon Dancer doesn't.
Okay.
Shit, I'm powerful, but I'm not a doctor.
Musical baby.
You are the baby. You're the baby of the family.
Dude. I had like 3
Bucket
pickles
5
today.
asks, Heather, do you have any cat toys to play?
Oh, we have tons of cat toys for
I'm
her.
gonna fix that sentence for you, Bucket. To use on night.
She was playing with this with Heather this morning. She probably will hate it because I'm using it, but yeah. Well, there she
She's like,
Clayton's
where am I supposed
asking
to lay
me,
down?
Brandon, do you think Tempest would have had her horn fixed at who?
Apparently,
I don't
it is
know.
apparently out of even the Alcorns to fix broken horns because they didn't do that. At least I assume.
I don't know who this Tempest thing is. I'm
Tempest
scared.
from the movie.
My Little Pony movie, Brandon, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, Brawny, you wouldn't know.
Brandon.
Braun, I thought that was a ship name, and I thought I
It
divorced him
is a
like
ship
6
name,
times.
and I ship it.
Then I use it
I-
to distract her from
I
my
I
divorced him
T3.
again. He probably wouldn't make a good husband.
What, Heather?
I would not make a good.
Look, you got drool all over your chin. You're nasty. You need a bib.
Imagine her with a little bib, it'd be so cute.
No, you don't give two
Bucket 5 asks, would you have preferred Tempest to appear in the final season?
As she appeared for a little bit, a teeny bit.
I mean, they could. I don't think they could afford the voice actress. I'm
Yeah.
surprised they were able to afford Weird Al a second time, to be honest.
I was super happy that they. Did
Oh, I was thrilled. I just was surprised. That's all.
I liked that they made cheese pie canon. It was pretty.
Oh hell yeah, I love that. Girl.
The cheese pie sounds. It sounds like it would be really gross.
And so is the ship. It's
That's
great.
kind of what cheesecake is, though. It's technically a cheese pie.
I hate cheesecake. It's so gross.
I love cheesecake.
I'm not a big fan, but I'll have it if there's lots of chocolate.
You know what I haven't had? Carrot cake.
Ever?
No, never.
You spoiled brat. I hated carrot cake when I was a kid. But my parents loved it, so they always got it for their birthday, and I had to suffer
Hey,
through it.
hey, you know what? Maybe the feeling is mutual. Maybe carrot cake hates you back.
Alright, that's fine. We can hate each other all.
It's like, well, I can kill you if I choose to.
Brandon, did you ever see Green Eggs and Ham? Is that the mandatory CGI rendition of a classic story that uses a bunch of pop culture references? Is that what that is?
Yes.
No, then I haven't.
I love you. I love you. I do. I promise.
She's beautiful.
All right, Buckin asks, do you two like gingerbread or fruitcake? Gingerbread.
I can't remember the last time I ate gingerbread. I remember as a kid I wasn't too fond of it. Fruitcake,
I didn't like this kid.
fruitcake, never had.
Never had?
Never had, like, no one has ever offered it to me.
Yeah, it's fruitcake is more infamous than it is like an actual thing that people actually make.
People
for
like
people.
to meme about it.
Yeah, they like to talk about it, but not actually.
It's
give
kind
it
of
to
in the same way people condemn surströmming or like Vegemite.
How did
I
you
guess.
enjoy the gingerbread bread pudding at the party?
That was good.
So it was good. That's good.
But yeah, no, as a kid I hated gingerbread. So I don't know, I don't think I'm a huge fan of either. Really.
You know what I used to like that I don't like now? Candy canes. I don't like them now.
I've never liked peppermint.
I like them more as a kid than I do now, but I'll still have them.
Oh, I'm going to tell you right now, the candy canes I put in your stocking are not peppermint. They are Jolly Rancher flavored.
Those are the best. I appreciate that. I mean, I like the peppermint ones too, but the Jolly Rancher ones are like, yes.
I played it safe because I think people like Jolly Ranchers more than they do peppermint.
Yeah.
So I got that for everyone.
That's a fair assumption.
Yeah, you know, you're at Target, you see some candy canes, you're like, I would eat that.
Although to be fair, since you stuffed my stocking, I did get some. I'm afraid they are peppermint, so I apologize, but I did get a
That's
whole
okay.
bunch of.
If my breath smells rank, it's a good option. That's how I see it.
Heather. Falcon 5 asks, were there any good stories from the holiday party?
My God, all my coworkers
They were
just
drunk as crap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that much I knew. Yeah.
My
The
God.
place we go to for the Christmas party for my work is super nice.
Oh yeah, I loved it. Free valet parking. What?
Free valet parking. It was a big resort. Well, of course, we're not going everywhere, but we go to the side. And I'm like, man, where do we even go? Am I in the right place? Because I don't know if I should be someplace that's ritzy. Then we see my manager and the two owners of the dealership. And I'm like, they are the only people I know that I see. And I go, I'm like, hey, Sean, what's going on? And he gives me a hug. I'm like, okay, we're getting this familiar. Because he's never like that with me in person. Good. So, like, he's like, I'm like, okay, where are we headed to, John? We're heading over there, and we get our name tags. She was Juanita for the night. It was great.
Yes.
And we head in there, and they don't serve food for a while, but they give us stuff because it's like a casino night. And we did like one round of roulette, but we mostly just played blackjack.
We
and
mostly
I,
played
and I had fun. I liked it. And she got blackjack twice at 2 tables.
Yes.
And she got those pins.
Got
And she
the
gave
flash
me
pins.
one because she's like, here, loser. Because I can't.
Well, it was like, she's like, I want to get the pin. And I'm like, well, if I get the pin, I'll give it to you. And then I got the pin. I'm like, well, I said I'd give it to you, so here you go.
And she just wore she wore both of them at the same time just for the pic.
Just for the pic, yeah. I wanted to put it on Twitter. Ha ha! Look at my victory. All right, here, take the other pin. I don't need to be that gaudy.
I made about 4,000 fictional casino dollars because, of course, we weren't using real money at this casino night.
Mm-hmm.
Bucket
And,
5 asks, have you seen the special candy canes like Warheads, Oreos, Spree, etc.?
I've seen tons of them at Walmart. I got the Jolly Rancher ones because I think that's, like, in that form would have tasted really good.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was given a candy cane once, and it wasn't, like, I was like, peppermint, but I ate it to be polite. I'm like, wait a minute, this is berry flavored. Oh, yeah.
I've had the opposite. Like, oh, cool, peppermint. Oh, God, it tastes like cherry.
oh my God, there's 2 did you knows. Okay, from Honey Drop. Did you know Weird Al loves to do voice acting for Hasbro and is always up for a gig with them? And did you know he's also a licensed architect?
I didn't know about the architect bit. But yeah, it's not a matter of whether Weird Al would be willing to do the show, because I'm sure he'd be down for it any time. It's the fact that he's expensive.
Oh, yeah, he's a star. He's got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah, he's a pretty high celebrity, so he has that big celebrity paycheck that they have to pay for. That's the only thing holding people back from putting Weird Al in like every episode of Everything Ever.
Because Weird Al is great.
Yeah.
And another did you know? Brandon, Heather, and Sweetie. Did you know that I...
Oh, Brandon, pull yourself together, man. Be professional.
I forgot to say it's from Clayton.
Okay, can you pass me that drink while he tries to pull it together?
Did you know?
I'm gonna need something
Did
for
you
this.
know that I met up with my high school best friend?
How would we know that?
Did you know?
I think you're just putting it in the front of everything.
I think so too.
God, Brandon. Oh my God, what do I pay you for?
Okay. He also has an unpopular opinion about Kingdom's Heart being kind of boring and not very compelling. I wouldn't know. And I thought you said Lost Kingdoms for a second, and I was about to school you on that, but
Nah, no
whatever,
one knows
carry
what
on.
that is but you.
Lost Kingdoms is a fucking... Sorry,
wants me to do
underrated
video on
game.
that and I have never played it. And I'm like, Kingdom Hearts though, I've always been curious, and I've seen my cousin play it, and I think like if you're into both the medium of anime and Disney, you're gonna love it. And my cousin was very much that nerd. So
I was that nerd. That was Kingdom Hearts was my gateway. Well, I say my gateway drug into video games. I always wanted to play video games, but my parents forbade it because they were like, "Oh, it's going to distract you from your homework." Then Kingdom Hearts came around, and I basically like put the advertisement to my parents, and I was like, "It's anime and Disney together. God wants me to play video games."
And they're like,
and they agreed. They're like, "All right, we'll get you a PlayStation." And
if ever there was a sign from God, it was
it's like if there's a sign from God telling me I need to play video games, it's Kingdom Hearts. And they were like, "Yeah, all right, fine." So they got me a PlayStation 2.
Clayton asked, "Did you? No, wait, that's not. Did you know? Do you have an unpopular opinion about a Disney movie?" Do I? I don't know.
I do, but I'll wait for the others.
I don't really think about movies that much.
Yeah, Brandon is very much not a movie person. He's a music person. So
I
have an unpopular opinion about like emo revival. I could go into several paragraphs about that.
No time for that here.
My probably most controversial opinion is that I'm not a huge fan of Beauty and the Beast.
That's fair.
Like, I acknowledge that it's objectively a fantastic film, and I still enjoy watching it. There are just a lot of things in the film I find very problematic, and I just don't like.
I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't think it's everyone's favorite movie. I think a lot of people were...
a lot of people like Beauty and the Beast. I mean, Beauty and the Beast is I think, still only animated feature to have ever been nominated for Best Film.
Wow.
And it deserved it. It deserved it. It's a fantastic film, visually, musically. Like, there's a lot of great stuff in the film, and I do still enjoy watching it. It's just I don't like the romance.
Shocking.
I know.
It's a Stockholm Syndrome, isn't it?
It's not the Stockholm Syndrome. It's more... It's the idea that you could change someone. It's what I don't like is the whole like, oh yeah, if you're with a guy who's verbally and borderline physically abusive, who breaks furniture if you break a rule, just wait, he'll turn into a handsome prince any day now.
Nah, yeah, I see where you're coming from. That wouldn't be good.
It's that he had to change who he was for her to like him. Now, not physically. She liked him before he changed physically, but he still had to change as a person. And that while I get the whole, change for someone you love, it still felt like it was very much... It wasn't, what's it called?
When I was
it was conditional.
I ate 4 dozen.
It was not unconditional love.
Brandon,
It was highly conditional. He had to meet her standards, or she wasn't going to consider him.
Now that I'm grown, I eat 5 dozen
and
eggs.
She didn't have to change at all.
The size of a barn.
Yes, Gaston was great, and that was a good song, Brandon. Shut up. That's the only part of the movie you can ask him about. But I will say, I guess I kind of saw it as like he was always a good guy, but put in this stressful situation that changed him. And
he wasn't always a good guy. He was changed to a beast because he was a spoiled brat.
I don't know, if you look back at, like, if we're analyzing it, what age he was.
That he was 11 years old. Yeah, but he never stopped being a spoiled 11-year-old. That's the thing. He was always a spoiled brat. And yes, you could be like, oh, well, she challenged him to change. And that's fine, but it's still in the position of, well, if a guy is a spoiled, if he's basically a dick, well, just force him to change. And then he'll be the perfect boyfriend.
I guess I could see where you're going with that. I wouldn't like that either. Beauty and the Beast, it is one of my favorites, but I don't know if it's me. I guess my unpopular Disney opinion is that I like Hercules, because I hear a lot of people don't like Hercules, and I liked Hercules.
The reason why I have a stigma against Hercules is more its place in my life than anything about it as a film, because I was huge. So the historical context of why Hercules was a thing. There were a couple of television shows that were on at the time called Hercules. Well, the one was Hercules and the other was Xena, about Greek mythology. And that was actually because technically the Greek name for the character Hercules would be Heracles. not Hercules. But calling the character Hercules while using the Greek names for all the gods was something that was started in the Kevin Sorbo live action show. That was a highly popular show, and it was a show that I was very much into, and what got me into Greek mythology, what got me reading into it, researching it, loving Greek mythology. And then the Disney movie comes out, and I geek out. I'm like, oh my gosh, Disney's gonna do it. And this was when I discovered that Disney they're not great at adaptations. In that they're not great at faithfully adapting anything. So I walk in there, and they're like, oh yes, Hercules' loving mother, Hera. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, didn't Hera throw him off the...
Hera was not his mother to begin with. Zeus banged a mortal woman. And then Hera, because Zeus can't keep it in his pants to save his life, she was resentful against the sun. And so she hated Hercules. And all of the trials that went through in his life were either directly or indirectly related to Hera. And his name was actually Heracles in a way of trying to appease her. He was actually named after his stepmother, as it were, to try to appease her, which of course didn't bloody work. But yeah, so it was, I don't like the film because it was a time in my life as a child when I realized that Disney is not faithful to the source material.
And obviously I watched it before I even knew what
I am
mythology
seeing
was.
a bunch of Did You Know questions, and it's very tempting.
Alright, give us the spiel.
But first, Bucket 5 wants to know, sweetie, if you've seen Cats yet.
Not yet. My mother made a point that she wants to see it with me on Christmas.
Okay, Clayton's... This is to you, sweetie. Did you know that Lilo feeds Pud the fish because she felt guilty about her parents' death?
Yeah, that was a theory that went around that, like... I don't remember what it was, something like her parents died because of something... Because, like, she didn't feed Pug and the weather turned bad or something like that.
I think, yeah, because it kind of made sense the way it said. Like, she feeds Pug because her parents died... Pudge, because her parents died while they're out for a drive during a storm, and Pudge makes the
Controls
weather
the
go.
weather. Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense. I feel like it's very sad and very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
That's insanely far-fetched, so...
She's a child, it's convoluted. When she was a child dealing with trauma.
Yeah, I mean, how do you deal with that type of thing?
Honey Drop says, did you know the original She-Ra cartoon show from the 80s has 2 seasons, but has 93 episodes and 3-hour-long TV special?
I watched a little bit of She-Ra. It was on a late night thing when I was like in I don't know, I think it was early college, late teenagers, and I was just like, 80s cartoons are usually pretty cool, so I watched that, and I kind of liked it. I mean, it's got the obvious sometimes 80s problems with shows, but yeah, it was fun. The main villain wasn't as cool as Skeletor. Though the new She-Ra show, there's stuff going on in there that I'm curious about, so I'm kind of thinking of going back and trying to watch the whole thing, because I watched quite a few episodes of it and wasn't too into it yet, but apparently it got really gay, so I need to see it.
That's what I've heard. It's gotten really gay, which I appreciate. I'm like, cool, more gay.
Oh yeah, let's make it gay.
Oh, gay.
It's the new Revolutionary Girl Utena.
Hopefully it'll make a little more sense.
I think it does.
Shady Oak Ministries. I always thought the theme of Beauty and the Beast was that unconditional love from Belle and a biblical death to self is the only way to have a changed heart/life.
Well, it wasn't unconditional. That was the problem. It was highly conditional. It was on the condition that he become a better person. I don't know. I didn't see it as unconditional love at all. Not on her end.
Brandon, are you playing the freaking piano right now?
Practicing my skills. I'm mostly in the moments where you guys just keep talking, but yeah, I guess I do have a piano out.
Oh, you. Alright, what else they got?
Okay, Murdoch. Oh wait, sorry, I missed Clinton. Brandon, did you know that in the end of The Little Mermaid, when Trident, I'm assuming that's how you say it, turns Ariel into a human, he gave her a beautiful dress while Ursula just left her half naked?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. He had the ability.
It's just like, also, I don't want my daughter to be naked.
To be naked? Yeah, that's...
Ursula's like, yeah.
He's like, look, I ship it, but... That's not part of your daughter's life. You want to be encouraging.
Let's keep it classy.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really sparkly dress.
This is very sparkly.
Damn. Which is your favorite Disney movie?
How can I choose between my children?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
Alright, top 3?
I don't even know about that, because there are a lot of Disney movies I like for different reasons.
Alright. I probably couldn't name my top 3. I mean, like, if I thought of the first 3 off my head that I really liked, it'd be like Beauty and the Beast, Hercules, and what's another one? I'm trying to think. You know what's funny? Like, a movie that I enjoyed, more recent Disney movie I enjoyed the most was, like, Moana.
Moana was great.
I liked Moana.
I love Moana.
You would have loved this. A coworker, salesman Trent, showed us a video today of what he woke up to. It was his daughter, a blonde little girl, dressed up as Moana. And he's like, Daddy, get up, we gotta take a picture. He's like, no, I'm trying to take a nap. He's like, no, you can take a nap after we take a picture. She was
adorable.
so cute. You would have loved it.
That's adorable.
It is. I was just like, you got a pretty little blonde girl at home. But yeah, I found it so funny because like the beginning video is just you seeing that big wig move up because she's wearing a wig to be Moana and her head pops out. I'm like, wow! I thought you had another dog because there was also a pet in the video. I can't remember if it was cat or dog.
Okay, what else is there? Murdoch's asking me if I would count Heather's streams as her face being naked or do glasses still count.
Because in case you guys don't know, I was streaming with Bronny, Cards Against Humanity, and Red Palette drew a picture of us on the stream, and she had my sunglasses up, my eyes closed, and I was laughing. And I'm like, look, a rare picture of me being face naked because I'm not wearing anything. But like, and then Murdoch goes into the comments section, he's like, aren't you face naked on your streams all the time? I'm like, no, I'm wearing glasses, duh.
Mm-hmm.
But I think now he's trying to say, you're face naked. I'm like, no, I'm wearing glasses, dingus.
But are your glasses like supposed to be eyes for your bras for your eyes or something?
Yes. They keep them in. Like you notice if I take them off and get tired, the eye starts wandering in that direction. You gotta keep them in there.
Shady Oak Ministry says, did you know that if you don't eat for 5 days, you'll stop feeling hungry?
You'll also be dead.
No, not necessarily.
No,
you can
not
actually
really.
stop
You
eating
like,
for like a
3
month
weeks.
before you.
Ooh, that's terrifying to think about.
It's water. If you don't drink water for like 7 days, then you freaking die.
I thought it was 3.
I think it's a week, but I could be wrong. I haven't tried.
It could depend on climate.
That's true.
Clayton says, didn't Seuss get turned into a swan?
Seuss get turned into a swan?
I don't know, did he?
Hold on. What?
You can go on about Greek mythology, I'm just gonna practice.
Oh, Zeus
Zeus turned into a swan.
I mean, I'm sure he did. He turned into a lot of things in mythology.
I think he turned a woman into a cow.
You messed me up.
Yes.
I mean,
It's one of the...
I remember that story. He was with the woman and Hera was coming. He's like, oh God, I gotta hide you. Turns her into a cow. And then she's like, what you doing, Zeus? And he's like, nothing, just hanging out with this cow. She's like, that's a cool cow. Want to give me that cow? Because I'm your wife? And he's like, sure. And then she had a cow and she got this one guard with 1,000,000 eyes to watch
yo,
it.
Heather, don't have a cow.
Shut up. I had Bronny for this. I don't need you. Also, the guy's just guarding the cow for Hera. And then Zeus is like, dude, that's a chick. He goes to Hermes and goes like, dude, that's a chick. Can you go distract him while I go get the cow? And he's just like, yeah, sure. And then he talks to the guy about a really long story until he falls asleep. Like each one of his eyes closes. Then he stabs him and he dies. And then he gets the cow and turns away. And Hera felt bad because she's like, oh man, you died because you were protecting me and my cheating husband's being a dick. So I'm gonna put all your eyes on a peacock to respect you.
Yep. Basically, it's the story of the peacock feather. Yep.
I like that story. I don't know why I remember that one.
It's a nice story.
I mean, it's terrible.
Okay.
Yeah, it's awful, but it's nice.
Shady Oak says, if it was faithful to the source material, it wouldn't have been touched by Disney.
That's true. That is very true. But ironically, the TV show wasn't as faithful to the source material either, but at least it touched on it more. Hera was very much still gunning for Hercules, and it was very much because Zeus was had cheated on her with a mortal woman. However, they spin it as the mortal woman I'm in love with, and blah, 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 and, oh, no, it was only the one time, and not like the fact that Zeus is a chronic adulterer. So yeah, they still toned things down for the live action show, but it was still far more faithful source material than the Disney version was.
You know, I really
Murdoch.
don't want to put this down. I really do want to go see the Mulan movie.
Oh, the live action one?
Yeah.
We'll do that.
I'm really interested in that. I want to see how it goes.
Yeah, I have hopes.
I
have
do.
hopes.
I'm kind of hoping in the credits that they have. I want to hear "Make a Man Out of You"
I don't know.
in the credits.
Eh.
They don't have to have songs in the movie if they don't want to.
Because I would rather them do something different, like go a completely different direction with it.
Totally. I'm in. Like I said, I'm totally interested. I'm kind of digging it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if they'll, make me love this one. Because I'm gonna try and forget about the Mulan I already saw. I mean, not forget about it, but like I liked that Mulan. But I want to see if I like this Mulan too.
Mm-hmm. I remember Mulan was very problematic. I had a lot of Asian friends at the time, and a few of them were Chinese, and they hated it because it meshed a lot of Asian cultures together. They're like, to them it sort of exemplified all look same culture. That is like, she's Asian. Well, she's Chinese, and she's just Asian. If it's Asian, stick it in Mulan. Same difference.
Murdoch says, "Did you know Brandon's drug is? Did you know that is incorrect? My drug is chocolate, dark chocolate, 90%.
I should have just
Anyway,
said good.
Clayton says, "Did you know that creature was the name of He-Man's pet tiger?"
I thought it was, what was his name? Because they called him like War Cat or something when he was all pumped up. But before that, they called him something else like Trembles or something because he's a coward when he's not fired up. I can't remember.
I can't remember either. Heck.
I liked it. I watched a few episodes of He-Man with Ronnie because I like the campiness of He-Man.
Oh yeah, it's campy as heck.
Yeah, well, I love camp. I love tropes. I love stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes it get a little bland, but like sometimes it's funny. There was a reboot of He-Man that was pretty good that I liked watching. Too bad they didn't continue it. That's always the case with my good
Clayton-
80s cartoons getting reboots.
Clayton, your answer's probably better than it's probably is. I don't know because I don't have an answer. And he says, "I actually don't get why they use sexuality as a marketing tool. Can y'all explain?"
I don't know. I guess
Because sex sells.
sex is pretty sexy.
But why have sex when you can play an instrument?
Because a lot of people do both.
At the same time,
Sometimes.
But why have sex when you can dedicate more time to your instrument?
we get it, Brandon. You're asexual.
Well, you know,
But why
dedicating
have
time to your instrument may be a euphemism. I'm just saying.
But why have sex?
Theoretically, with the intent of procreating, but very few people do it for that reason.
But why have sex?
Because it's how you were born.
Because it feels good.
but why have sex?
In case you didn't realize.
Right, I understand that, but forcing your sexuality onto others isn't exactly kosher.
Wow, that's a lot of comments. Brandon played keyboard cat. It's probably easy. I could probably figure it out.
If you figure that out, I'll be
I don't know.
overjoyed. I wanna hear it. Do, 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 do. That's nostalgia for me. Oh my god. Did I tell you about the anime me and Bronny watched like the whole thing together? It was I can't remember the name. My roommate is a cat, I think.
Right. I never got around to that one, but I heard it was good.
Yeah, we liked it a lot. It was about this writer who like never really got over the loss of his parents and how like unsociable he is. But then a cat comes into his life and he's suddenly opening up his life to other people. And it's very nice.
Cute.
Very nice. Love the cat because she reminds me of Knife.
Yeah, of course.
Just like a tuxedo cat.
Whoa, hold on. I just missed a bunch of stuff. Shady Oak says, Sweetie, just to clarify, I mean unconditional in that she loved him in spite of his flaws. She first took the place of her father, demonstrated a lack of fear towards him than loved him.
She definitely displayed a lack of fear towards him, which I always admired about Belle. Everyone, like, when they talk about Harry Potter houses of Belle, they're like, oh, she's a Ravenclaw. I'm like, nah, she's a Gryffindor. Like, she stood up to the beast for a creature for who all she knew ate humans. And she was like, she'd stand up to him. She'd be like, shut up, I don't care. But I don't think it's that she needed him to change. It was a requirement for her that he change. Otherwise, she wouldn't have loved him.
Clayton says, Brandon, did you know that He-Man is the twin brother
Of She-Ra.
of Adara? Did you also
Yeah, I
know
knew.
He-Man's real name is Adam?
Yeah, I knew all those things.
Yeah.
I'm a dork.
It's my
Right? I was in the 80s.
I wasn't for the
my
here for
big
the
brothers.
80s, but I tuned in.
He tuned into the 80s.
Why do I like
Years
G.I.
later.
Joe Real American Hero when it came out when I was
Yeah,
like,
I remember
four?
when you're like, I love G.I. Joe, and I'm just looking at you like, you weren't around for G.I. Joe.
But they had it on Netflix! I watched all of G.I. Joe American Hero on Netflix. I watched G.I. Joe Resolute, G.I. Joe Renegades, the live-action G.I. Joe movies. The first one sucked, the second one's pretty okay.
Which is why now, even though you weren't alive for it, you know more about G.I. Joe than I do.
I love G.I. Joe. Real American Hero! Loved it.
Clayton says, and this is not a fun fact. This is an opinion. Sweetie, did you know that Kung Fu Panda 2 was really dark and deep?
It was pretty good, yeah.
I liked that movie a lot. Like, in the first Kung Fu Panda, I was like, yeah, it has Jack Black in it. I love Jack Black. And then the Kung Fu Panda 2 comes out, I'm like, whoa, that was really good. Kung Fu Panda 3 came out, and I'm like, that's still pretty good. But Kung Fu Panda 2, though. Lord Shen, though.
Yeah.
Loved Lord Shen. The backstory, whoa, that was dark. I can't believe they went there. And I loved seeing Baby Poe.
Baby Poe was adorable.
He was a fat little panda. I wanted a plushie of that so hard. I'm like, why didn't they make that a toy? It was so cute. I kind of liked how.
And that was the one with his father, right? Like his biological father? Or is that the
Oh,
third?
the third one's about it. I liked
Okay.
going into that the relationship he has with his fathers.
Yeah, I actually love the relationship between the fathers. That was my favorite part of the third movie.
I very much
Was
loved
when,
that.
like, my favorite scene of the third movie has got to be actually the fathers just talking to each other. And I think one of my favorite lines is he's like, I think, like, his biological father, like, lied to, he would just sort of did a liar's reveal thing.
Oh,
And he's
yeah.
like, oh, he'll never forgive me, I lied to him. And the other guy's like, I've been lying to him for 20 years, you'll be fine.
I told him he came from an egg.
Right? Yeah, he was like, you'll be fine.
I'm getting feels now. I loved Poe's dad.
Poe's dad was the best.
I loved him. I mean, the first movie I didn't love him so much because he wasn't really supporting
He
his
wasn't,
son.
yeah, and it wasn't like he wasn't supporting him, like, actively not, he just was sort of oblivious.
He's also, son, that's dangerous. Like in the second one, too, he's like, son, that's dangerous. I packed you some food. Here's your toys. No, he was so doting.
So cute, I loved him.
I loved that he loved Poe and he kept Poe as a
Yeah,
baby, and that's why I loved the Kung Fu Panda 2. Kung Fu Panda 3, I did love, like, he was being a jealous father.
He was being a jealous father, and it was so cute.
There was a funny moment, too, that stands out to me, where it's like, so you don't have to fly back, and he's like, Dad, you can fly? He's like, I'm a bird, Poe. Of course I can fly. Oh gosh, I love Kung Fu Panda, I gotta have the trilogy.
It's a good movie series.
I did love it. I loved it very much.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? For a movie series I love so much, I'm surprised I didn't find, like, because I love shipping.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I almost love shipping as much as you do.
Huh.
There's stuff I could have shipped, but, like, maybe I'll ship Tigress and Poe, but I'm like, no, I
But
love their friendship.
yeah, I was the same way. I think they were trying to ship Poe with Tigress in the third film, and I'm like, I don't ship it.
I didn't feel that.
Yeah, I was like,
it was just so genuine friendship.
yeah.
Yeah, like because there was a Kung Fu Panda show, and I don't think it was as good as the movies. It didn't live up to it. There was a moment where they revealed that like Poe's dad had like an arranged marriage for him at one point because I don't know, he had a trade agreement with someone. They're like, hey, maybe our kids should get married, and it was just like a sheep, and he thought the sheep was cute, but it turns out the sheep had a boyfriend and tricked him into doing something so she could get her boyfriend free from bandits or something, and then that ended. It was really, that plot was kind of convoluted and weird. But there was another character from that show I shipped him with, which was like a cat, like a little snow leopard, who they tried to get to seduce Poe, but like Poe didn't get it.
Oh.
And they were like dancing ladies, and they were thieves though. But she changed her ways and tried to teach people better because of him. And I kind of shipped that because she like kissed him at the cheek at the end. And I'm like, you know, that's cute. She likes him for him, even though he's a big doof.
Yes.
It was funny though, cause like they were doing a dance for them in the Jade Palace, and they were dancing really close to some artifacts. And they're like, "Oh, what do you know about these chicks?" And they're like, "That he goes like that they're ladies, and they dance." And then they stole a vase, and he's like, "Oops." He trusts so easy.
There's a lot of did you know questions.
Okay, go. I'm sorry. I love Kung Fu Panda.
Brandon, Sweetie, Heather, did you know that Glenn Close did a great job as Cruella?
Oh, she did.
Cruella de Vil.
Yeah, that was, one of the good live action adaptations. I'll still have a place in my heart for the animated, but Glenn Close just chewed up the scenery as.
Oh, I remember the live action Dalmatians. That was the
Yeah.
one I saw first.
That hurts my heart.
I'm sorry, honey.
Sorry,
I did see the cartoon one eventually.
Okay.
I saw Murdoch's comment on Netflix.
Yet.
Niet. Honey Drop says, did you know Sam Riegel is the human version of Pinkie Pie? It's Sam Riegel, don't question it.
It's my camera.
Yeah, it's frozen, and I'm
And
not
he's
making a
a
very
good
attractive
dad.
face right now. Good dear God.
I'm a blur.
Oh
And
God.
he's a good dad to his two daughters. He goes to all their school functions.
Is that
That's
just how it
a very
works?
long fact.
Is the live stream?
Yeah, does the live stream
Does
have the same problem?
Does the live stream affect that? Hold on. Something ain't right
Uh,
here. Let's go to stream health. No, it's
Play
excellent.
Yeah, it should be good.
And I think this is the beginning of it, live in 56 minutes, because we're still live right now, so this feels like the
So,
beginning.
what?
Play.
Clayton has
No,
another
it looks
did you
like
know
it's
tonight.
frozen. Damn it.
Oh no!
Oh God, why?
Guys,
I get-
confirm in the chat. Are you just seeing a frozen image of us? Is that what you see?
I am currently seeing that, yes.
Oh, God,
no.
why?
Okay, maybe I can turn it off and back
Couldn't
on.
have at least been an attractive frozen picture of us? I mean, my God.
No. Okay. Audio, video capture. I don't know. It is funny.
No, it's not. It's horrifying.
It's so funny. Alright, let me see. What can I do? God, I need Bronny here to troubleshoot this because I.
Maybe like turn it off and on again. Like, okay, go back because you got OBS, right?
Yeah. I
Okay.
guess.
Try clicking on the eye, little eyeball,
Fine.
and click it again.
Right.
No, well, that was all I had.
Okay.
That was my one idea.
I don't know. Add.
But I
No.
need my did you know?
You can still do it. They're just not gonna see us.
Yeah, they're just gonna see a horrifying still of me. I apologize greatly to all people watching.
Look at me. I'm a freaking blur.
Yeah, her beauty is blurred and my ugliness is in full view.
No.
Oh, now it's just the. Oh wait, it was a black screen for a second. Now it's.
Oh yeah, that's because
I
we were
turned it off and
troubleshooting
back
it.
on.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Let me
Clayton
see.
says, Brandon, did you know that OK Boomer was never a clever meme? Did you also know that Japan made a comment on the theme? They said that it's dead. OK Boomer.
Way to go. Really kicking the curve. No, that didn't work. Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
Let me see.
Like at worst, we just leave it. It's only 15 minutes left in the stream.
So while you're troubleshooting, Shady Oak
Let's
Ministry
just make
says,
it another
so the
one.
question is the chicken
Oh,
or the
wait,
egg?
hold on.
Did she love him before he was lovable, or only when she felt she could take something from him? That's my perspective. She loved him before seeing the prince.
Well, yeah, she loved him before seeing the prince, but I mean, physically, yes, she loved him before seeing what he did physically. It was that he had to act like a prince before she loved him. His personality had to change before she loved him. Physically, yeah. Physically, if anything, everybody, I think, when they watch that movie is like, I'm a handsome prince now, and everyone's like, huh, go back. It's like, you're not handsome. I don't know what you thought handsome was, but it ain't that.
They're like,
Oh,
oh.
yes!
Oh, okay.
It fixed itself!
Yay!
Okay, now we have to make sure that we look very attractive the entire time in case it freezes again.
Oh god, it's gonna go like my driver's license picture.
Murdoch, you read my mind. He said, "Okay, boomer." Answer the question, sweetie.
What was the question?
So the question is, the chicken or the egg? Did she love him before he was lovable, or only when she felt she could take something from him? That's my perspective. She loved him before seeing the prints.
Did you not hear my entire answer to that?
No.
Okay. She didn't give 2 cents of a crap about him physically. She definitely loved him before he was a prince, but she loved him after he started acting like one.
So I guess in that kind of metaphor, it'd be like when you'd start seeing cracks in the egg, maybe? Because she didn't like the egg at first. But, like, I guess she liked it when the chicken was coming out.
I'm not entirely sure.
The metaphor's weird.
Yeah, the metaphor's gotten very convoluted.
Oh, and then Shady Oak says, thus the change of heart before a change of life principle.
Yes, true. But that's the thing. He had to change who he was in order for her to love him. And that's fine, that happens, but it's just like, do you expect that to happen? Do you sit and wait for that to happen?
Yeah, I think it's more like what it teaches as like a lesson than how it played out for Belle.
Yeah.
Because how it played out for Belle went well enough, I guess.
And there was another thing I didn't like about the film as well, ironically, was because of how much I identified with Belle. Because Belle, like, everyone's like, oh, Belle's so smart. She's not really incredibly intelligent. I mean, she knows how to read. But the type of books that she reads are fantasy and adventure books and romance books. She's not so much of a nerd as she's a geek.
And
She's consuming the media. There's nothing wrong with that. What I'm saying is that's why I identify with her, is that she's reading all these fantasy books, and then, she sings a song, I want adventure in the great wide somewhere. Every kid who reads adventure fantasy books, they want that. And so it's like, yes, Belle, yes, I'm with you. How do you live in this mundane life with all these great stories that are so fantastic? Well, Belle's solution is you happen to be a heroine in a Disney film. Like her song about, like, I want adventure in the great wide somewhere. And she's like, oh, if only I could find a way to deal with this. In comes the plot. Right after that, Philippe shows up, and it's just like, oh, well, here's your adventure. And it's like, okay, but I can't apply that to my life. I can't apply that to my life. I'm not a heroine in a Disney film.
Did you know that the actor who played Colonel Klink in Hogan's Heroes was Jewish and only agreed to the role under the condition the Nazis would always fail and look foolish?
Fair enough.
I'm not sure what we're referring to. Colonel Klink?
What was the media Colonel Klink was from again?
Hogan's Heroes.
Hogan's Heroes. I don't know that.
I don't know Hogan's Heroes, but ironically, Colonel Klink, that sounds familiar, but it sounds like from something else.
Sounds like a robot. Does anyone remember that movie, Robots?
Yes.
Yes.
That existed,
Yes.
right?
It did
that wasn't
exist.
just a
No.
fever dream I had?
No. Sadly,
It was a movie.
I remember getting a toy from it in, like, they were still putting toys in cereal boxes at this point, and I got a toy from it, and I saw it as a kid, and I was just like, Robots, and then it went away, and no one ever talked
I saw
about
it.
again.
I saw it in theaters.
I saw it in theaters too.
So
Oh, I didn't see it in theater.
It was definitely silly from what I remember. Was the red robot played?
By Robin Williams, yes.
I knew it!
That was the only decent part of the film.
Oh, yeah, he was definitely funny.
Yeah.
I don't know, some plots I was bored with, but then the red robot came back and he was funny.
who is calling me? Oh, I can ignore him. I can just talk to him later. Brandon.
Oh, hold on. Last 10 minutes of the stream. Any last minute comment, questions, or concerns, bring them up now. Forever hold your silence until the next stream, which will be next week. I'll be back home.
And I'll probably do the stream, unless I'm so dead, dirt, tired, exhausted that I die.
Okay. Brandon, did you know that Catwoman, Harley Quinn, and Poison Ivy are the Gotham City Sirens? Did you also know that Catwoman is named Selena Kyle and Poison Ivy is named Pamela Isley?
I knew that about Catwoman, because I like Catwoman.
I loved Catwoman.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't want to be a crazy cat lady for a job?
Right?
And then you might also get Batman.
I know, right?
Hot.
So you've got there's a 3-part response to your thing, sweetie. So,
Oh God.
wait until I'm finished with all that. We all do. If I refuse to grow up and hope people accept all my junk, then I'm not going to be a good candidate for a social human being in any sense. I don't know if this is part of it, but there may be something there that wasn't there before.
We froze
talking
again.
furniture
Right.
and becoming royalty sounds like an adventure to me.
No, yeah, it does. She got on an adventure, and that's great. That's great for her. It just, like, when you're in the real world and you're reading about, you like for me, imagine, like, watching all these Disney movies and going, gosh, I wish I could be in a Disney movie, and having a Disney heroine go, gosh, I wish I could be in a fantasy and adventure story, and then her be like, well, good thing I'm a Disney heroine, and it's just like, well, that's great for you, you know, but yes, don't get me wrong, change is inevitable, but Belle didn't change, at least enough to me. I felt like Belle didn't change.
Yeah, I can't think of like any major character development from her because she still seems the same.
She's
near
still
beginning to end. Like she was always a well-meaning person.
Yeah.
And kind of well-read, and I don't think much of that changed.
She never seemed to indicate that she gave a 0.2 of a care about anyone physically. Otherwise, she would have been more interested in Gaston. So it's not like she became less vain. It's more that he lived up to her standards, and it wasn't the other way around. I only recall maybe one instance where she tried to meet him halfway, and that was the instance with the porridge. That was the only scene where it felt like they were meeting each other halfway, and that was my favorite scene.
Really,
But
the bird feeding thing didn't do anything for her?
no, I mean, it was fine, but again, it wasn't about meeting halfway. It wasn't about, I'm just not into feeding birds. Oh, well, I am, and well, let's figure it out. It was him adjusting to what she wanted to do. She wanted to feed the birds, and he had to figure out a way of making that work for her. What I'm saying is the only thing that said, like, they were meeting, that he was trying and she was trying, was the scene with the porridge, where he's not eating with silverware at all, and he's stuffing his face, and that's making her uncomfortable. Then he tries to eat with a spoon, but he's not good at it, and he's struggling with it. So she's like, okay, let's drink it. That's the only scene in the whole movie where it felt like, hey, I see you're trying to make an effort. I see you're not there yet. I can step out of my comfort zone to help you on your journey. That was the only time. Everything else, he was meeting her standards. He was doing what she wanted. He was changing himself for her, and she wasn't really doing much in return.
How do you feel about Beauty and the Beast movie as compared to the novel?
The novel's better.
I do like the novel.
Yeah. I think because in that, Belle is the one who changes. And in that one, the prince already is a decent human being. He's just ugly, and he's not very interesting to talk to. But he's very, very kind. He's very, very kind and generous, and, and so, thank God we're not frozen anymore.
That's the only
Thank
problem
God.
I encountered this stream, so I'm feeling very good.
But, like, he was very kind, and she was like, no, but he would keep on proposing to her, and she's like, no, I don't want to marry you. No, I don't want to marry you. And then she went back and visited her sisters, and they had very vain and self-centered husbands, and she's like, man, I didn't know how good I had it. Like, she had taken him for granted, and that sucks, but she learned her lesson in that. She took him for granted, and then she's like, I'm sorry I took you for granted,
I remember that book pretty well. I read it back in middle school. I remember it mostly because, like, I was reading it during class, and my teacher got mad.
Shameful.
I loved that book, though. I was reading it, and I remember, like, she wanted to go home because he showed her, like, that glass where she saw her family, and, like, one of the, like, it gets me now because it was one of her nephews asking for her. And she was just like, I need to go back. Because I know if my nephews, like, if I was able to watch them without them knowing, and one of my nephews said, like, when's Aunt Heather coming to visit, I would feel so bad. I'm like, oh, I gotta go see them. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
It makes me teary-eyed to think about it. She goes to see them. And I think they also had vague thoughts about the beast, and she's like, he's actually not like that. He's been so kind to me. God, yeah.
Did you know there's 3 minutes?
I got 5 minutes on my thing. So 5 minutes left in the stream, 5 minutes left in the stream. Last minute comments, questions, or concerns. Set it now for a roll shot until the next stream.
Clayton posed the question to me real quick that I'll answer. What's your opinion on the phrase, if you don't like me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best? it's a phrase generally used by edgy people who don't want to actually change any kind of personality flaws. It's an excuse to be a terrible person. So
I see some merit in it from my eyes because, like, if someone can't support me and help me in my worst moments when I'm, like, really down and out, then, like, and they're only here for the good times. Then,
It's called the fair weather friend, yeah. I feel like the statement is trying to be like, if you're only going to be there for the good times, then you're not any use to me, type of thing.
Yeah, like, I want someone who's also going to support me in my lumps and like, I'm always going to try and do my best.
Yeah, I assume, and maybe that, but, like, yeah, you always try to improve and be your best. But if someone's going to be super critical of you every time you fall apart, then they shouldn't be part of your life. So that sort of thing.
Like, in that facet of my life, I need that kind of support. Like Brownie, like, he's seen me at some pretty low points that I didn't even want to show him, but he was there. Mm-hmm. And so that's how I know that he's someone I can fall back
exactly. If he's only going to be there when you're at 100%, then you're not really there at all. Mm-hmm. That's again, yeah. You should improve in your life. I agree. If it's about, like, well, you just need to deal with me at my worst. No, but I mean, yes and no. You have to be
if you're at your worst 100% of the time.
If you're at the worst a lot, or you're not trying to improve upon your worst, you're not like, look, I'm sorry I did that, I'm trying to be better, but thank you for being there for me. That's sort of thing.
That's basically what I'm thinking. Yeah, if you're at a low point, that's fine and everything, but there's certainly things you can do.
There's definitely a lot of people who just throw that around as a meme and throw that around because they want an excuse.
I mostly see that phrase come from snooty, like, terrible people, so,
It's them taking something and twisting it to their own agenda.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that's what everybody does. They take the purest of intentions and twist it for their own uses.
How many do you knows are there? Oh, not that many. Do you guys ever wonder what MLP would have been like if there were a group of stallions that are like the main six?
Probably the same thing.
Probably, yeah.
Like, just, like, less girly stuff, I guess. I know, we got that freaking on a cross and arrow thing. We've gotten male versions of the main six, and I do like some of them. Mm-hmm. I like the design. I like what they did with Dusk Shine's hair. They made it, like, kind of like dreads in a way.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. And, I don't know, I think Fluttershy's design was kind of like the hair I wasn't incredibly fond of.
Yeah.
I wanted something different with the hair.
True.
I always wondered why they didn't put, like, facial hair on anybody. Sometimes they put facial hair on, like, Rarity or, like, Elusive, as they put it, and they give them, like, a curly mustache, and I'm like, that kind of fits.
Mm-hmm.
But no facial hair.
Shady Oak, there's two comments about the Beauty and the Beast thing. One from Shady Oaks, one from Honey Drop.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's not that horrifying of a picture. I'll accept it.
Can I read, or do we have enough time?
We have 1 minute, so no. I'm sorry, guys. Other questions are gonna have to wait until the next stream.
Brandon, did you know there's a song called Trophy Boy?
Go look it up, Brandon. Go enjoy it. I'm very glad that you guys came into my stream. I don't know how many people tuned in, but, we got a lot of interesting questions, and we had some great conversations. That's what I like the most out of these things. And I'm getting pretty far in my crochet. If I keep going after this stream, I'll be done tonight. And I'll have this ready to put in my suitcase and head off to New York tomorrow and have all my presents ready. I know, it's great.
That's right. I have to remind myself when I'm dropping you off.
Oh, we're going, like, the flight doesn't leave until 15.
Yeah, I know I don't have to wake up early for it. I'm just going to, like, probably be sitting there and you'll be like, hey, sweetie. Or I'll be like, I'm going shopping. And then you're, like, stranded here like,
like, we're 15 minutes away from the airport.
Yeah.
Sometime after 11:30, maybe?
Yeah. Probably, like...
Oh, Heather, one last thing.
Leave around noon.
Yeah, whatever. It's cool. Like, I know they start boarding at, like, 2:11.
Okay.
Heather, one last thing.
What?
Did you know that you misspelled chaos in Chaos and Crochet?
I actually had no idea. It didn't auto-correct me. Let me look. Oh, yeah. Hey, actually, that is wrong. I know that's wrong.
Coas.
I wonder why that is, because I copied and pasted from the other streams. Have they all been spelled wrong? Because I thought I would have noticed.
Maybe they are.
So everyone knows, I made my streams. No, it's not made for kids because I don't want to deal with anything that happens if I make it for kids and then like it's not.
Right.
Because I obviously.
I mean,
curse.
I've
obviously cursed, so I'm just gonna put my stuff as not for kids. I'm not gonna deal with it. So anyway, guys, this was a great stream. I enjoyed it very much, and I hope you all have a nice time too. So I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Say goodbye, sweetie.
Bye.